Hello YouTube. Today we're going to be changing the battery on this 2002 Toyota Tarago. It's the same as an Estima, same as a Previa, but as far as the battery goes, it's probably the same as a lot of things. The battery went dead because my 5-year-old daughter left one of the lights on inside, didn't tell Mommy. Mommy went to go start the car, starter didn't start. Call up RACQ, which is like AAA in America, and they came by, jumped it, started right up, tested to make sure it was charging, and said the battery might live, but we went and bought a new one anyway. So we're going to start changing the battery. In this car, the battery's here, positive terminals here, negative terminals here. It's a 12-volt system. Most cars are these days. And we're going to remove this bolt here, this nut here, loosen up these connectors here, and then remove the positive first and then the negative after. And then this is the battery that's going in it. It looked like it was an undersized battery to begin with, so we'll be glad to see the back of it. 10mm socket, a wrench. I just use this palm one. These bolts aren't that tight. Loosen up this one first. Because this one's just got a hook on it, so the hook comes out. Then loosen up the one that's attached to your frame. And battery acid will burn holes in your clothes. You might not notice it when they first get it on there, but like all this powder, this white powder, it's like sulfuric acid. It gets on your clothes. You won't notice it until you wash your clothes, then your clothes will have a bunch of holes in them after you check it out. I'm just going to take a crescent wrench and loosen up the bolt on the positive first. And loosen up the bolt on the negative. And then I'm going to take the positive off first. So you might need to spin it a bit, take that off, lay it down, then take the negative off next, lay that down. Now you can pull your battery out. Usually have handles on it. If they don't, grab it by the sides, lift it up. New battery. Make sure the positive's on the same side that it was. Put it in the tray. And then reverse what you just did. So you're going to put the negative on first. Pull these caps off these. Put the negative on first. And then put the positive on. And then you clamp them up. And these don't have to be that tight. It's just the lead fitting, so if you tighten it too much, it's not going to be any better. You just want to make sure it's not going to move. Batteries should last at least 2 years. I've seen some people last 5 years. You get a good Yuasa battery, they might last 10 years, but then when they go, they don't give you any sign, they just go. Then you're going to put your clamp back on top, and in the very back it hooks underneath. And in the front it's going to hook up to that. I always do the front first because the back you can mess around with later. It's got some play, but the front you don't. On the back, you make sure that the peg is into the frame. And again, these don't have to be that tight. It just has to be snug so your battery doesn't move around in the tray. And that feels good. And now I'll take my gloves off and I'll start it up. And once it's running, you take your voltmeter, make sure it's on DC volts. You put your positive on your positive, negative on your negative. And 13.75 volts is a good charging battery. And rev it up. Find it. So the charging system's working correctly. Your battery's working everything, and it's good to go.